all guilty of it. You walk into Harbor Freight and you find a tool you really don't need, and you never knew that you needed, but you ended up buying it on impulse. So picked up the Bauer benchtop, desktop, top belt sander, disc sander here for some projects that we have going on in the Goblin here. Need to make a custom dashboard. You know, I could use a file, I could use hand sandpaper, but man, this thing looks like it would totally grind down a small car. So we're not going to get too deep into an actual unboxing here because I want to go ahead and plug this sucker in, put some metal to it, and see if it's actually going to help out for our dashboard project that we're going to be doing here in the coming weeks for the Goblin. But the Bauer line essentially is they call their premium brand. It is not really their premium brand. It's replacing the Chicago Electric brand that's out right now. That's actually, if you notice, if you are an addict at Harbor Freight, is going away. Let's tear the sucker open. We can take a closer look at the hard parts out of the way, and we got rid of the cardboard box. But first off, you know, I see a 2.5 inch dust outlet here for a shop vac. You can plug it in. If you're doing metal, I mean, I don't really know how much this is going to work. On wood, it definitely helps mitigate the dust in the area. Assembly wise, there aren't really a lot of parts. Essentially, you've got your fence for your belt, which will mount up here, adjustable miter gauge, and then as well as your adjustable deck here for your side angle gauge on your disc belt here. Disc sander. Some quick observations here as well. I did look at the DeWalt Metabos and a few others. And this, I wouldn't say this is feature-rich product here. It has the basic necessities. Essentially, there's a belt tensioner here for quick release, so you can swap out the top belt here. I believe that's about 110 or 100, 120, maybe 60, I can't quite tell there. And then there's an adjustable knob here for your tracking for your actual belt here that's going to control your back and forth here. Pretty simple to change out the belts. The disc is just a little bit more difficult. That front panel is going to have to pop off, and you can swap that out here. Now for the on-off switch, this is interesting about Bauer products lately, is a lot of them have the lockout key on them. So you can pull this out. I don't use these, not working in a commercial environment, and I don't think you're going to be using Bauer in a commercial environment to actually lock these out. But if you got kids that like to turn stuff off and put their hands in things, then yeah, maybe you can pull that out there. So compared to the Metabo, the Delta, and the DeWalt here, this is actually a steel body here. The DeWalt one that I found was injection molded plastic. I mean, again, it depends on personal preference. It does weigh a lot. The other thing that I noticed here, we're going to get it put together, but there's no quick adjustable knob for the actual deck. This goes up to 90 degrees, but it looks like you actually have to use an Allen wrench to actually adjust it up when you need it. So it's kind of one of those items that once you set it, you set it and you just kind of forget it. So table mounting is pretty straightforward. It is notched, which is nice. So it's going to go right in that side hole right there. It's going to lock in, and then on the side for the actual adjust, just put that knob right in there. So let's go ahead and get that table leveled really quick so we can get it zeroed out. And I know my drill press table is level, so slap that sucker on there and we'll see where we're at here. I know some of the old school guys out there are gonna say, hey, you can just use a square, but we gotta make sure this is super precise. A quick observation. So we were zeroed out on here, but then I noticed that it's not matching up on the graft here. So through a metal gauge up here, as well as a metal angle finder, we're zeroed out. So I would recommend not using the angle gauge that's on the side of the machine here, and actually do your measurements before you actually start throwing stuff onto the disc sander itself there. But we're zeroed out. Really about done. The last thing that we got to throw on is the belt fence. Which goes right on the back there. It's 2 threaded holes. I only got one, so not too sure what's up with that there. So we're gonna have to get that hole plugged. So I got a few little goodies here, little aluminum plates, some stock steel, as well as an aluminum tube. We'll see if we can kind of burr that down here and see what we got. Kind of throw this thing, get it to work. So I'm pressing down pretty hard. Again, it is aluminum, so you don't really have to press too hard to get it to grind down, but it's really chipping away. Let's see if we can put a little chamfer on that and see what we can accomplish. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Let's throw some steel up there, see what we got. All right, ground that down pretty good there. Looks like we got a little razor blade going on. Let's put some gloves on before we get silly here. Now, you're not really going to round out metal using that, and it's really not the right tool. Essentially, you would start off over here with a bench grinder and then move it back here. So we were just getting silly here, trying to make essentially a prison shank. So what I want to do next is I want to throw this into essentially 90 degrees, and we'll grind some stuff down. But with any Bauer tool, and to be honest with you, any Harbor Freight tool, before you make any adjustments to any moving parts, make sure you unplug them. I have seen so many Bauer tools that when you just go like this, the thing either comes on or comes off, and on new products as well. And God forbid you get your hand right up in there, because it's probably going to come out of the ejection port right there. The 90-degree adjustment, it's kind of funky. It's right on the back here. Take your Allen wrench, slap that in there, loosen it up, and just pull it right up to your 90. Now, you are going to need to lock that back in place. Now, it would be nice to actually see a quick release in the back here, but it is a little funky. The DeWalt one that I looked at did have a quick spring release, but again, sometimes those wear out, they don't hold up. So, you know, maybe the Allen wrench is a way that Harbor Freight looked at it as a way to cut costs, but then again, longevity. Another little item that I noticed, the video that Harbor Freight has promoting this product on their website by another YouTuber, essentially when he puts it at 90 degrees, he's using the non-supporting side with no deck. And then he's wondering why he's not getting any type of, let's just say, even sanding action going on. And you can see here, this is just gonna fly all over the place. And we're gonna turn it on and I'll show you. If you're gonna use this thing correctly, the deck's on this side, guys. So if you're gonna push anything against it and you want even outcomes, that's what you're gonna use here. Not the back side like the video that Harbor Freight is promoting. And I'll show you why, because the belt flies all over the damn place on this. Again, when you use the side that you're not technically supposed to use. Watch the belt. Look at that. You can literally move the belt around. In the review video they got shows people using the back of the belt there. That's not the right way. So let's spin it around and I'll show you the difference here. Because this is where you're really gonna get a nice, even outcome here. You see how the belt doesn't even move around? Got a nice clean edge. Look at that. Perfect. Oh, see, we stopped the belt. We'll talk about that here in a second. So one of the big complaints with this that people are talking about is the fact that the belt stops too quick, not enough horsepower, none of that stuff here. I really haven't been able to get it to really stop working unless I really press hard on this thing. And I mean hard. Let's see if we can get this thing to stop here. Ah, there we go. But really, I'm pressing really hard to get this thing to lock up. Let me put a lot of pressure on this. It's probably more than somebody in a hobbyist setting would, but that's what we're using it for, right? So I'd say I'm pretty happy with this right here. You know, Harbor Freight, sometimes lately, it's been kind of hit and miss. But again, if you're gonna get it, you're gonna use it, make sure you use the right side. If you are gonna use this, as I call it, the silly side, make sure that you really got some eye protection going on here. Overall, I would say I'm actually pretty impressed. We got a big project that's coming up in the next couple weeks where, again, I mentioned that I have to make a dashboard for our adult-sized go-kart. Gonna be going big limp swinging here and going with a full setup. So I wanted something that was gonna be powerful enough, and I think the Bauer belt sander is gonna work for us. It's gonna help us here. I picked up some long acre waterproof gauges, so I wanna make sure everything kind of looks, well, I wouldn't say showroom quality, but you know, not like it rolled out of a junkyard or something. And overall, I'd say I'm actually pretty impressed, besides the fact that it's super hot in the garage. You know, you're sweating behind the eye protection. It's very important if you're gonna use the wrong side of the belt sander there. Now, for the guys out there that actually have this, that are watching a review video on Bauer, let me know your thoughts on this. If you have the Chicago Electric one, let me know your thoughts on that as well. If you have any other brand, put it in the comments section below. We're really gonna beat this thing up in the coming weeks, so we're gonna see how long it lasts. Harbor Freight's warranty is 90 days, so at the end of the day, we got 90 days to break it. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. You guys enjoyed the review video there. I got more to come, as well as we're gonna be finishing out the Adal go-kart, which is probably one of the most less interested projects at this point. So, I'm Charles, Gearheads Garage. See you next weekend.